Welcome to Katy Calls VS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katy Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls VS. Every fall, I rewatch Gilmore Girls, and it's one of my comfort shows. You know, the ones where you can always turn it on and it never disappoints, except for the certain episodes that I skip through. If you're a fan, you know which ones they probably are. It's the 25th anniversary month, and I was starting my rewatch thinking about all the small businesses in Stars Hollow, imagining if it were real, it would be the ultimate small business hub. There's Luke's Diner, the Dragonfly Inn, town meetings, and all Kirk's business adventures. It's basically what entrepreneurship feels like, a cozy little town of chaos. So I thought we should call BS on the idea that you need to run your business like everyone else and talk about the lessons that Stars Hollow businesses and their characters can teach us. Because Stars Hollow proves that personality, connection, and community win every single time. I've learned that there aren't really any rules in business other than the values you set for yourself. Stars Hollow, the town where Gilmore Girls takes place, actually runs on breaking the rules. Somehow it works. We're going to first talk about the town of Stars Hollow. Basically, the town is a character. It's the business microcosm. Stars Hollow is this quirky, interconnected ecosystem where every person plays a role. It's like a small business economy where everyone's doing something different, but it only works because they show up as themselves. Nobody's stepping on anybody's toes. Everybody has their role. And humans are drawn to authenticity and belonging. That's what community marketing actually is. The takeaway from this is if we think of Instagram or social media as our town and we show up as ourselves inside this online town and we're just showing up as us, we're not stepping on anybody else's toes. We don't have to be everything to everyone. We just have to know our role within this town. We have to remember that our business isn't just us. It's our network, our systems, our partnerships. Sometimes we forget that we're not alone in our businesses, although it feels that way a lot of the times when we run an online business. So if we think about what our role is in our online town, we have to remember to actually connect and collaborate in this online little town that we have of social media. That's not so little. But just remember that. The next step is Lorelai Gilmore, who is the visionary entrepreneur. The lesson that we take away from Lorelai is that she takes risks and trusts her instincts, even when people don't get it. When she first sees the Dragonfly Inn, it's run down and forgotten, but she wants to go for it. She's ready to finally follow her dream that she and Suki have had for years. Lorelai is the ultimate self-made founder. She built her dream business, the Dragonfly Inn, from scratch with humor and grit. She's scrappy. She's fast-talking. She's imperfect. She runs on coffee and chaos. The embodiment of messy entrepreneurship. She takes ownership for all of her outcomes, which is a key trait in successful founders. She has a growth mindset and resilience. Entrepreneurs overestimate their experience all the time, and they underestimate adaptability. This scrappy, deliberately messy approach, how many times do I say that, is what Lorelai is known for. That outperforms the perfection. She doesn't really care about that part. She never waits for permission. She just takes action. She asks for help from the right people. She asks for advice from the right people. Here's the fun part that we're going to do for the rest of the characters. If Lorelai had a digital product today, it would be from motel to manager, and she would have a mentorship program for women turning their side hustles into sustainable businesses. We're going to talk about Suki, Lorelai's business partner. Suki St. James is the creative genius. The lesson we take away from Suki is she's the passionate creative. She combines her passion with systems. We learn that your work can be fun and structured. She doesn't start with systems, but we see her turn into a chef with an organized kitchen. It definitely didn't start that way in the early episodes. She's wildly talented, but chaotic. She's the creative who needs the structure. We know that creative entrepreneurs often ride adrenaline until they crash. They struggle with burnout and have to find the balance between their creativity and systems. Creative professionals like Suki, who structure their workflow and organize their systems, can boost productivity and scale easier. That passion is their fuel, but process is the engine that runs it. Eventually, Suki figures out her process and structure so she can be organized and innovative. And at first, it's just chaotic, though. It's wildly chaotic. But if she had a digital product, it would be a Creative Chef Academy membership where she would teach others how to build a food brand without losing their spark, because she always wants to make sure that they have their individuality and their spark and creativity. Next up is Luke Danes. He is the diner owner, and he is your reluctant brand. He would hate the word brand. But the lesson we get from Luke is that consistency is marketing. Luke does not market. He does not do anything special for his business. He just shows up every day. He serves coffee. He treats people mostly right. He's the ultimate anti-launch marketer. His reliability is his sales funnel. He's always there, except for his one dark day. People feel safe where they know what to expect. So if they know what they get from you, you're good. Luke proves that you can grow quietly through consistency. His reliability builds that trust. He has repeat clients and he keeps business steady. If Luke had a digital product, it would be an ebook, because he's not filming anything for a course. It would be called Quiet Consistency, Building a Loyal Customer Base Without the Noise. Or he would be recorded on a tape recorder. Okay, now we have Miss Patty. Miss Patty is your fearless confidence coach. She teaches us to own your personality, amplify your strengths, and never apologize for being visible. Miss Patty is flamboyant, bold, and unafraid to be herself. She commands attention without trying to conform. We know that authenticity and charisma equals magnetism. People are drawn to energy and confidence more than perfection. This is like the creators you're drawn to online. When you see them being authentically themselves, you're drawn to that. Being loud and proud and unapologetically yourself attracts the right people. So when we overthink what we're doing online, people notice that. If Miss Patty had a digital product, it would be Stage Your Business, a video course on presenting yourself and your brand with confidence, teaching entrepreneurs to lean into their unique voice. Next up is Rory Gilmore, Lorelai's daughter, the student turned strategist. The lesson we get from Rory is research, learn, and iterate before scaling. Rory is smart, driven, but also kind of terrified of failure. She's stuck in learning mode a lot, but she's also a researcher. She loves to research. She loves to plan, always learning, sometimes implementing. She might be your analysis paralysis entrepreneur. She needs a strategy before she makes an informed decision, which is totally fair, but she also stops herself by doing endless research and pro-con lists. So if this is you, I understand. A lot of us are kind of here. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that stay in the Rory kind of mindset where we just want to continue learning. It's not the right time. I just need to learn more. I need to do this. I don't want to fail. But if Rory had a digital product, it would be Pitch Perfect, How to Start Before You're Ready, a mini course for perfectionists who want to publish or launch. Then we have Emily Gilmore, the matriarch of the family, Lorelai's mom, the luxury brand strategist. She believes, and we learn from her, that presentation matters, but not at the cost of authenticity. Emily is all about reputation and presentation. She's the high-end traditional woman. People equate polish with credibility, but too much perfection feels fake. So if you are someone who believes that you need to be professional or that you need to present yourself a certain way because that makes you more credible online, you have to be careful to overproduce yourself online, because that's going to feel too fake. And we've seen those people online. We've seen the people that are overproduced where you just can't relate to those people. Now, if Emily had a digital product, it would be Elevate, a masterclass in elegant branding for entrepreneurs, and she would probably teach it exclusively at the club. Her husband, Richard Gilmore, is the legacy business mind. He is exactly what you would think of as a traditional businessman. The lesson we get from Richard in the show is leverage your experiences and resources, but balance with personal vision. Richard represents financial literacy, business ethics, and stability, the structure behind success. We learn that entrepreneurs with clarity around money make braver moves. He's not as much of a risk taker. If he had a digital product, it would be Legacy Business Blueprint, which would be a signature program for entrepreneurs ready to scale responsibly with a workbook, probably a very thick workbook, and he would expect you to complete every single page of it. You might be more of a Taylor Dozy. Taylor Dozy is the bureaucratic business owner. He believes that systems matter, but we learn from him that all of that bureaucracy might stifle creativity or your relationships. Taylor is obsessed with rules and control. He's a classic micromanager entrepreneur. He has a lot of great ideas and he kind of comes up with some crazy ones, but he's also a micromanager. And that need for control that he has is actually a fear response. For controlling those systems makes him lack innovation and flexibility. And we know that action with flexible structure will yield better outcomes. Now, if Taylor had a digital product, it would be the small business systems, a template bundle for all the systems in your business. And then we have Gypsy. Gypsy was the mechanic in the show. She is the boundary breaker. The lesson we get from Gypsy is to own your expertise, even if you don't fit the mold. So if you are someone who is doing something that is a non-traditional role, that's what Gypsy represents, the non-traditional entrepreneurs, women in male-dominated fields, people building credibility through skill and not titles. Believing you can do something is more important than others believing it first. She challenges restrictive norms, which does require resilience, and that drives innovation and differentiation. If Gypsy had a digital product, she's a very straight shooter, so it would be Fix It Yourself, a series of short videos showing you how to fix things on your car. Then there's Jackson, who is Suki's husband. He's the reluctant marketer, has a great product, doesn't really love to market it. The lesson we get from him is that you can't hide behind your product forever. Jackson is great at what he does, but he hates being salesy. We know that good people feel bad about selling because they associate it with manipulation. It feels icky to them. But if Jackson had a digital product, it would be Sell Without Sleaze, a workshop for makers and farmers learning heart-led sales. And then we have Kirk, the multi-passionate entrepreneur. Well, the lesson we get from Kirk is a great one. Confidence sells, even when you have no idea what you're doing. Kirk tries literally everything. He's the definition of multi-passionate. He believes every idea will work, and that belief is what keeps him doing every single job in the town. Belief in the ability to succeed is what encourages his risk-taking and learning by doing. He tries new things and he uncovers unexpected opportunities. If Kirk had a digital product, it would be called the Kirk Method. It would be a weird little mini course about embracing experimentation in business. So why am I sharing all of this with you, and why am I sharing their digital products with you? Because I want you to listen to this and think, which Stars Hollow character are you right now? What lesson do you need to lean into in this season? What's your digital product version of your role in the town? Does it give you an idea of what to create? Humans crave connection and story, and we need that more than ever right now. That's why we love Stars Hollow and why we buy from people and not brands. Small business wins when it feels human. That's where we are with marketing, especially right now. The reason why this works, why Stars Hollow worked, and why Gilmore Girls works, and why we celebrate the 25th anniversary, and why I rewatch it every single year, is because no one's trying to be anyone else. Every year that I rewatch this show, I get something different out of it because I'm at a different point in my life. Every business has a personality, purpose, and connection. That's what makes it sustainable. You don't need the biggest offer, the fanciest funnel, or the flashiest brand. You need a heart. You need consistency, community, and the courage to evolve in your business. That's what the town and the show represent. The town works because everyone does their part and plays their role and trusts that being themselves is enough. That's exactly what you need to do. I'll see you next week. If today's episode hit home, share it with a friend and hit follow so you never miss the next one. Until then, keep calling out the BS and building your business your way.